Lights, camera, and action.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast.
Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared.
Damn!
And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
You're on mute, my friend.
Did you make out my F word?
Yeah, I did, actually.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. I was sitting here waiting as the timer was going down, like, da, 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 da. I'm like, what am I forgetting?
And I was sitting here for 5 minutes, and I was like, where is he?
I've been down here for like 20 minutes, and I was trying to get some stuff ready, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. What? I feel like I'm forgetting something. For those watching, LA is still burning.
Oh,
I heard Hollywood was gonna, just post their things, but they're still gonna have it on March 6th or something.
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Good for them.
Did you hear about the latest appointment from Donald Trump?
Fire aid?
No, actually, he doesn't seem concerned with the fires at all. However, he is exceptionally concerned with about where movies are made. So he has now appointed Sylvester Stallone, Mel Gibson, and oh crap, who's the third one? Oh, Jon Voight as his ambassadors of Hollywood to try and get more production to stay in LA and in California and in the States as opposed to going to other countries to shoot.
All three of those people are national heroes. Oh, no, who was it?
Sylvester Stallone.
Awesome.
Mel Gibson.
Awesome.
And Jon Voight.
Oh my God. I have.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
Just Jon Voight in this movie alone. He makes this movie. Well, him and the fucking snakes make this movie. But look, Jon Voight is a treasure.
I get why he chose them. And I don't know why my social media algorithm decided to throw this story right after I saw that news, but I thought it was hilarious. Apparently, on Tina Fey's first season on SNL, Sylvester Stallone was guest hosting. And I guess she actually had to tell him, you have to enunciate more.
He probably doesn't know how to enunciate.
He doesn't. God bless. He doesn't.
I did hear about Fire Aid. I'm like, really? This is what we're going with? Fire Aid, a musical benefit concert that's going to be for the LA fire victims.
It's fine.
It looks horrible out there. Holy shit. It looks fucking...
The devastation.
My God.
And on top of it, people are actually, during the natural wildfires, people are actually setting more fires.
Yeah.
They've arrested people for arson. And I'm like, if you're a true pyromaniac, can't you just enjoy the flames? Do you have to be a part of it? I'm like, and this is also just the super shittiest thing you could possibly ever do.
Yeah, people suck.
Why? Oh, hello, Cheese Toast. Cheese Toast is in the house. But yeah, and to anybody watching, if you want to join us in the chat, feel free. We love the interaction. Sometimes
as long as you like Sylvester Stallone, Mel Gibson, and
no, because if you don't like them,
the treasure,
you side with me. You side with Mel Gibson, very talented actor, very talented filmmaker.
Yeah, he has a couple personal issues, but other than that,
couple personal. Dude,
I'd go have a beer with him.
I would not, because he is not a safe person.
Can you imagine Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and
also no beers with them? Sylvester
Stallone walk into a bar.
Thank you, Cheese Toast. Thank you. I have someone on my side.
Yeah.
I would not have beers with any of them. Maybe Sylvester Stallone, but I wouldn't stay for very long because I would not be able to understand him. Also, one of my greatest pet peeves is when people mumble.
I bet you when he drinks, he gets more coherent.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Still not having a drink with him. But I mean, but it kind of, I didn't realize he was that right leaning until recent years. And I was like, oh, dude, why you got to ruin Rocky for me? And Rambo, like, why? Why you got to ruin this?
You're surprised Rambo is conservative? Like, what you thought
I'm gonna
he
tell
was
you. I'm gonna tell you right
Democratic?
now. A lot of very liberal, left-leaning people have a rage inside them that's just waiting for the opportunity to get out. And while I do not want a war with the U.S., I would like to avoid that. I'm voting for Cascadia, so I'm voting for like the border like states to join Canada. That's my vote. But if I have to fight, I will. And I've got like 40 odd years of rage to let out. So I'm just saying.
I just think it's funny that you think Rambo is like, hey, if he wants to be a cat in school, he would be a cat. Wants to transition? That's not Rambo.
That's not right. Look, sometimes you just got to go on a killing spree. Not that I'm encouraging that, nor should anybody do that. I also am not going to go on a killing spree. However,
first, Anna thinks everyone should go on a killing spree. And with the wildfires going, what better opportunity? It's going to hide your crime.
If I'm tapped by the Canadian military, I'm in. I'm in. Strap me up. Let's go. I'll take out some motherfuckers. No problem. This has devolved so much. God, Hollywood, what is wrong with you?
So I did see your thing about the Mighty Ducks. I'm going to steal this idea. And I'll explain a little later. Because I rewatched our podcast last week. Yeah. And it was our first one doing kind of on the shoot, like on the go and stuff. So it was very awkward. Yeah. And we missed a couple things. So I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to steal your one idea that you're doing. I saw you on Facebook that you put the Facebook.
I put it on the Facebook, the Instagram, and the TikToks.
And you watched the Mighty Ducks trailer, and you thought you were gonna like the movie. Yes, I thought I was gonna love it still. Okay, I watched the trailer, and I'm like, wow. it reminded me very 90s, very. Oh, 100%, 100%. Like so, I mentioned I actually made a note at one point and I was like, this movie is so 90s. I actually wrote that down. Oh, yeah. Because that's how 90s this movie is. Oh, and I'm not mad about it. No. All right. Well, let's watch the trailer again. And for the people watching, hopefully you watched the movie. Or this is for the people watching. Yeah.
30-0, I remain undefeated.
Trial lawyer Gordon Bombay never lost a case.
What about the Fraser case? We don't count that one. Why? Because I scored with the court reporter.
Until the night the law caught up to him.
Breath, blood, or urine?
No thanks, I'm full.
Plead guilty and you're looking at 6 months minimum.
He has agreed to suspend your case.
Under what conditions?
500 hours of community service.
Your assignment has already been decided.
Hockey?
Walt Disney Pictures presents Emilio Estevez.
I hate hockey and I don't like kids. I'm the new coach.
You were supposed to be a pep talk?
Quiet. And the world's worst, most uncontrollable.
Get off the roof, you little monkey.
Hockey players.
Anybody could beat these pansies.
You almost hit me that time. Goldberg, you're the goalie. It's supposed to hit you. That sounds stupid to anyone else.
They can't skate.
You really suck.
Thank you for sharing that.
They can't shoot.
Keep swinging. Maybe I'll give them a cold.
And they can't count.
How many fingers am I holding up?
You wouldn't know that anyway.
Let's forget the past.
Hurrah!
Now, Gordon is determined to turn them around.
Back to basics.
Determined to teach them the game.
Hockey.
Determined to try anything.
Ready!
Oh, man, I'm gonna die.
Hey!
To make them a team.
Fire! I am Goldberg! The goalie!
Mighty Ducks! Wow, let's have fun out there. Let's fly!
Mighty Ducks.
Hey, Coach! Coach, come on! Don't leave me hanging like this!
All right, so there is the trailer for Every Time. It comes at a runtime. I'm of about an hour and 43 minutes. All right, so I have not looked at anything.
Neither have I.
This is why I wanted to do it this way, because I want to be pleasantly surprised, just like everyone else.
Ooh, Stefan Roberts, or Robert, I don't know, says it's a good movie, but only the first one. Interesting. We can touch on that later because there are sequels to this, and then this
there's a few
series.
of them.
Yeah.
Well, I had a budget between $10 and $14 million. Okay,
that's not bad.
No. It's actually kind of. So the Mighty Ducks came out in 1992 on October 2nd, 1992. It had. Let me share this. Sorry.
It's okay. We forgive you.
Sure. It made 50 million domestic, no international. 50 million, but 10-14 million. Bit advertising, so it made some money. No, it didn't burn the box office.
No, but it made a decent profit.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a very decent profit.
So on its first weekend, it came in second with $6 million. Behind Last of the Mohicans. I remember liking that movie.
Oh.
But ahead of Mr. Baseball, which I also remember liking. I don't think
I've seen Mr. Baseball.
With Tom Selleck? No? Where he goes to Japan?
I don't think I've. Oh, wait. Yes, I have seen that.
He's kind of washed up in the States and they send him to Japan. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
I don't think I've seen that since the early 90s.
Yeah.
And until you said Tom Selleck in Japan, I had completely forgotten that this movie existed.
Sneakers. It was one of my favorite movies with
so good.
Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd, Robert Redford, River Phoenix.
Yes, that's who I was trying to.
It was Saturday Night, Billy Crystal, Captain Ron. I remember liking that movie too. I don't think it's as good as I remember though.
I was not that big of a fan of Captain Ron.
Glengarry again. Oh, there's School Ties. So it opened at number 2nd, and then it went to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, and 10th. So it did okay.
That is a pretty good showing.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah,
especially for a kids movie, because you got to remember, especially back then, they weren't the greatest. Like unless it was animated, you weren't getting like the huge box office. You were getting really decent box office, but not like record breaking.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us go to. It's the first time I'm looking at the reviews. All right, The Mighty Ducks, October 2nd, 1992, 1 hour and 41 minutes, and it is a kid and family comedy, and it was rated PG. Oh!
Oh, my.
27% from the reviewers, but 65% and over 250,000.
Yeah.
Something tells me this is a lot of people that were kids in the 90s have come back to Rotten Tomatoes and reviewed it.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not there are some parts that feel very 90s family entertainment, but I don't really mind that because it's executed so well. 7 out of 10, Rachel Wagner. It's practically stuff of resistance these days for a film's hero to learn wisdom from children about the purity and beauty of honor and play and radical acceptance despite winning or losing. And Travis Synapse. A pleasing I
was just going to say, Elliot Panic said a lighthearted classic kids sports movie.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. TV Guide, harmless enough, but its schematic retread of a screenplay and its lethargic acting detracts from the unassuming, passable entertainment it might have been.
That feels like too many big words for this movie.
Yeah. This might not have been your movie, TV Guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking for Casablanca. Like, that's a very different genre.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Mighty Ducks.
Although Derek Adams of Time Out did say it was a very lame ice hockey flick. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah. And then we have who? Oh, Scott Weinberg. Kids Play Hockey Part 1, 2 out of 5. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the critics really were not thrilled.
No, even Roger Ebert said it must be said that this movie is sweet and innocent, and that at a certain level it might be appeal to younger kids. I doubt if it's ambitious reach much beyond that. 2 out of 4.
I mean, valid.
Yeah. Oops. IMDb. 73,000 comes at 6.6.
Not bad. Pretty much on par with the viewer ratings from Rotten Tomatoes.
And if we go to, are you on IMDb?
I am.
All right. If you want to find a 10, do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I'm here already.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking
for a good one.
I'm looking for a good one. I mean, I'll give this one 10 out of 10 for a 90s classic that never ages. From M. Holmes.
Yeah, I have a 9 out of 10. A really good movie. Best of the trilogy from 7 Crazy to Film Approaches. What the dude? 7 Crazy to Film Approaches. Sure. Yeah, when you get like 9, 10, 8, there's always like they're weird.
Yeah.
They're weirdos.
8 out of 10. We've got Predictable, but it is a sweet and fun movie. That's from The Little Songbird.
Is to hockey what Little Big League is to baseball. 7 out of 10. Zacone Dog.
Predictable, but still charming. 6 out of 10. And that is from Red Band 02. I'm sorry, I gave you an extra D.
I have the Bad News Bears on Ice from Vertigo 14. And then right below it was Not the Bad News Bears from Fat Cat 7, prisoner number 73450.
For 4 out of 10, you've only got 2 choices.
Mm.
One is typical of this genre, which I mean, valid. This is a very formulaic movie. And the other one is Quack.
Yeah. Quack. I only got 1 for 3, and it's The Mighty Ducks. Thanks, J. Booth Millard.
There's only 1 for 2, and it comes from Rebel Jen, and her review is annoying and lacking.
And I got 1 for 1 out of 10. Skates on Thin Storytelling.
Ooh.
Anaconda, prisoner number 40658.
That was a good one, Anaconda 40658. I like that. Skates on Thin Storytelling.
Okay, so did you want to hear the Mighty Ducks taglines?
I'd love to, actually. I want to know what they tagged this with.
All right. There's only 2 of them. He's never coached. They've never won. Together, they'll learn everything about winning. Oh, God.
That's terrible.
Did you tell that like this was the same year I think Full House came out or around TGIF with what was that other one with Urkel?
Family Matters.
Yeah. Oh, God. They can't skate. They can't win. They can't be serious. Yeah.
That's stupid. Also, Full House came out in 1987.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
It felt like it was on forever.
Well, wait. We're checking out Family Matters. Family Matters came out in 1989. So just on the cusp of the 90s. I think that's why. Mind you, I think TGIF, that Friday night lineup, was definitely 90s. Like they did that.
Oh,
in
yeah.
The 90s.
Yeah. All right. So what was your initial reaction to the movie?
My initial reaction is it was a very nostalgic, very sweet, very young movie. Like, I really thought about it, and I was like, I would have seen this as a teen. Now, I have a special place in my heart for sports movies.
Oh, hold on. There's someone here that says I miss TGIF. Get out.
Yes.
Go. Get out of here. Leave.
Nope. Stay, Cheese Toast, because I miss TGIF.
You watch Full House and Urkel.
Okay, Family Matters. I loved, but then also there was the show Step by Step. It was about a blended Suzanne Summers
and the guy from Dallas.
Yes, and it was terrible acting, but my God,
not JR from
Dallas.
He would have beat the kids. It would have been a very different show. Would have been a drama on HBO.
Something. Oh,
Patrick Duffy.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So Patrick Duffy. But it was okay. Full House was your favorite. I loved Full House, but then I tried to rewatch it and I could not do it.
Oh my!
No matter how cute Uncle Jesse was, I was like, I can't. Sorry, she just quoted Cheese Toast just quoted something from
Stop reliving TGIF.
It's a Canadian quarter from Canada. Americans still occasionally say that. Anyways,
I did not watch any of those shows.
God bless. Good for you. It's so Mighty Ducks was definitely very sweet, very innocent. And it came out in 1992. I was this movie actually came out 2 days after my 12th birthday. And I was thinking about this because I would have seen it a couple of years afterwards. So when I was in my mid-teens, and I was like, I would have watched it at like 14, 15. And I love sports movies and I love it when the underdogs win. So I think that helped my love for this movie. But when I was watching it, I was like, I would not expect preteens to watch this. 8, 9, 7-year-olds, yeah, 100%. 12, 13-year-olds, probably not.
I did not remember a lot about this movie. I remembered a couple things. I love Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez had some of my favorite movies from the 80s and 90s, like from Breakfast Club. I mean, and I was just a little tiny kid.
Breakfast Club. Young Guns.
I still watch Young Guns. Oh my God, Young Guns 2, Free Jack, and Judgment Night, and he made a lot of good movies. But when I did start watching this movie, I'm like, oh yeah, because they were talking about they were bringing a Mighty Ducks team to Anaheim, Walt Disney.
Yes,
and so this was not a favorite of mine. This was not. I do not remember. I didn't hate this movie, but I didn't really. It was not my thing because I'm a couple years older than you, and I was a preteen, just became a teen, and this was not for me. Fortunately, I was watching this with my youngest daughter, 7-year-old, so it was a little different. But so my initial thoughts was it was very sweet, like almost my teeth were aching. Sweet.
There are a lot of lessons learned in this by everyone. And don't get me wrong, I love a good moral to the story. I do. But there were a lot of morals that were learned in this one.
Yeah. All right, those are our initial thoughts. All right, it's time to go over the movie.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat. And then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
Gonna have to change that a bit.
Why?
Because we're not watching the movie. Let's review.
Yeah.
Let's go over the movie.
It feels like we're watching it, though, in our minds.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it again. And there was no reality to this movie at all.
Oh, no.
When it comes to hockey. The stuff they were doing, you could not do that in real hockey games. I don't care
not a chance.
What,
No.
Some kids weren't wearing fucking helmets.
They had magazines taped to their legs. I'm like, nobody, no Pee Wee League would let any kid get on the ice not equipped. It's asking for a lawsuit.
Oh God. Yeah. No, there were a lot of actors, and like we were talking about Emilio Estevez there.
Yes.
But what was it? I put it on the Milf Destroyer. What's his name?
Are you talking about Joshua Jackson?
That's it, from Dawson's Creek there.
The Milf Destroyer.
And I just watched Eldon Henson, who played Fulton.
Yes.
Who didn't grow from this movie. Like, he was that big in 1992, and he did not grow a centimeter, an inch since then, because he's quite small now compared. I just watched the new preview for the new Daredevil coming out.
Yes.
Which actually looks surprisingly quite good.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. And then it also had MC Gainey, the guy who drove the
yes.
And then there were a lot of faces that I recognized.
Yep. Lane Smith. We've seen him on television all over the place. God, there were quite a few. Who else was? There were quite a few people that I was like, oh, I know that guy.
The girl that played Connie, she's been in a couple of things that I've seen. Heidi Kling has been in quite a few things. And then
quite a few of the kids.
Yeah, actually,
kept acting a little bit. Some of them not as much as others.
No, I think Joshua Jackson and Eldon Henson probably be the most.
Yeah, some of them had some issues.
Yeah, they do.
Sean Weiss, God bless. He had some issues, but he's coming out the other side. Jesse Smollett, I learned this right now. He played one of the Hall brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he had his trials and tribulations, literally trials, a few years ago when like he was accused of faking an attack or something, like being attacked and assaulted.
Was that him?
That's him.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, you were a Mighty Duck?
That's where I know him from. Oh, the kid who played the brother, Brandon Quinton Adams, People Under the Stairs. The fool. His name is Fool in the show. The little black kid that's trapped in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Moonwalker with Michael Jackson. Yeah.
He's done a lot of work. He had a very, very big career. And he comes from the family of incredible talent. His sister is Journey Smollett, who you have seen from when she was a child growing up on television and in movies. So talented.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go over this movie. Gordon Bombay is a successful but arrogant Minneapolis defense attorney. Okay, before that, we see Gordon as a child get ready for that penalty shot, and his fucking coach. This is something I would say to my kid. Now, if you don't score, you're not just letting your team down, you're letting me down, you're letting your dead dad down. He's gonna cry in heaven. And this poor kid, then he's like, okay, go get the goal.
Yeah. Like, talk about pressure. And I was like, oh, actually, it was funny because the very first note I wrote was toxic coach. That tracks.
Yeah. But look,
and I forgot about those beginning scenes. Like, I knew he gave up hockey, but I was like, why was it? And it's basically, you're going to be the next great one. But if you miss this penalty, you should just die because terrible. And I was like, ooh, a toxic hockey coach. Who would have thought? I hear they're getting better now, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Buddy, I don't play hockey, but I have friends who have kids who play hockey. And my friends would not let any fool talk to their kids like that. So I'm like, maybe the coaches are getting better. But in the 80s and 90s, this is what a hockey coach would have sounded like.
Yeah. And that's why the players back then were men. Even if they were 9 or 10, they made them men.
And they were being filled with toxic masculinity and misogyny and racism. Super fun.
Right, yeah.
Super fun.
It was great. More toxic masculinity.
Let's worsen men's mental health. Yeah. Patriarchy.
It's just so easy to make men cry now. They're such betas.
I have a special skill for that. I can make pretty much anyone cry. I try not to, though. I really try not to. Sometimes it just comes out. I'm sorry. But anyways, yes. So we see the toxic coach. We see Minnie Bombay
Oh, you were
missed
being
the shot.
sarcastic
What?
about the toxic coach.
No, I was being very serious. Toxic coach, which was apparently
No, you were like
standard.
going, yay, and I thought you were
Yeah.
being serious. Okay.
No,
You're being
we
sarcastic.
don't encourage toxic coaches.
Oh, okay.
Enough of us have childhood trauma. We don't need to add our extracurricular sports into the trauma fold. But anyways, so toxic coach, Mini Bombay misses the goal.
Misses it, drops to his knees, starts
He
crying.
Literally gives up hockey. Because he's like, I need to not live in the hockey world anymore because I missed one shot.
Yeah, my dad's now going to hell because I missed the goal.
Yeah. Exactly.
After his 30th successful case, he celebrates by going out drinking. This was funny. I don't condone drinking or driving, but this was a very funny scene. This was probably one of the funniest adult scenes when he's asking, okay, you're coming down to the precinct. What do you say? Breath, urine, or blood?
Breath, urine, or blood. And he says, no, thanks. I'm full.
No, thanks. I'm full. He laughs to himself.
I laughed at that. But we got to remember why he's drinking. Because he just won a court case, right?
Yes.
By being kind of sneaky, kind of underhanded, and basically being like, well, judge, if you want another appeal on your hands, we can just do this. And the judge is like, no, it's okay. You win. And then he gets back to the office. He thinks he's going to get like accolades from his boss. And his boss was like, that was some sneaky shit. And actually his boss says, oh God, what was it? You're supposed to win or something.
Yeah.
Oh, score, don't spike. That was it.
Yeah.
Score, don't spike. Because he was flaunting his win.
And you would never, ever, ever hear that in a real lawyer's office. Not
a chance. Unless they all worked for like, no, they'd all spike. They'd all spike. But anyways, so he was butthurt about that. And then he decided to drink a beer while driving home.
Yeah. Back in the good old days. Well, no, he got arrested, so.
No, this was after the good old days. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, this is when the good old days were ending. And it wasn't cool to drink and drive anymore.
I know, right? God.
But is arrested for drunk driving, sentenced to 500 hours of community service by coaching the local District 5 Pee Wee hockey team. Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Also, I always thought Pee Wee hockey was like the younger kids. How old are these kids supposed to be?
Because
I don't know why, but I always think of Pee Wee hockey like immediately after Timbit hockey.
No. No.
How far does Timbit hockey go?
Pee Wee hockey is for it's for 11 and 12.
Oh, interesting. I always thought Pee Wee was for younger kids.
Well, you get the Timbits are like they're really young, and then you get mites. Yeah. They're 8-year-old squirts, Pee Wee, bantam, midgets, and then you start getting into
squirts.
Yeah, squirts.
Oh, that's
the 10-year-olds. Yeah.
Oh, Chisto says I think it's bantam before Pee Wee. Is that correct?
No, bantam's 13 to 14.
Yeah, it's okay. I had no idea. For some reason in my head, it's Timbits.
Go back and watch your Full House.
We want the interaction, yo. We want the interaction. Anyways, so he has to now coach the District 5 team.
The District 5 team. And I like the guy picking him up and driving out on the ice and the kids attacking the limo. And
yes, he's a bit of a douche to the kids. And he's like, go do your thing. I'm going to be in the car. And he gets on his car phone. Yes, 1992.
Yeah.
Pours coffee out of a carafe and starts drinking it in the car. Then they attack the car. And I was like, yes. And then they all pile into the car, which I love.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg.
Oh,
lets one go.
Lets one rip and everyone runs out. As a youth in 1973, he was the Hawks star player. That's weird. But struggling with the loss of his father. Would he be in 1973? Yeah, I guess that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Struggling with the loss of his father, he missed a tie-breaking penalty shot in the final seconds of this championship game, sending the game to overtime in which the Hawks lost, disappointing his hyper-competitive coach, Jack Riley. Bombay meets the team and realizes the children have no practice facility, no equipment or ability. Their first game with Bombay at the helm is against the Hawks, with Riley still the Hawks head coach. Yeah, so we get Emilio Estevez Bombay doesn't want to be there. The kids have no ability, they have no equipment.
None.
You can kind of see where this movie's going.
And also Coach Riley, 20 years later,
still looks pretty good.
Still looks exactly the same.
Like he looked 40-50 in 1973.
And he still does.
Looks great.
He looks only a few years older than Emilio Estevez. And I'm like, guys, can you, like, I understand you wanted to have the same actor, but could you have darkened his hair or something? Because he even had the gray hair in the flashbacks.
Yeah, I think it was a little more gray.
Yeah, they had a little more gray. But I was like, why is he already going? Like, you got to make it look like he's a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. Not that he's already in his 40s in 1973. But I was like, look at you looking exactly the same.
All right, where are we here? So they lose. Bombay, so District 5 is defeated, 17-0. That's a little high.
That hurt my heart, man. That hurt my heart. However, that first game really sets up, especially because the Hawks are like the best team. So it really like sets up just how bad District 5 is. Like they're like, nah, you need to know how shitty this team is. And they show us.
Yeah, they're beyond shitty.
They're beyond shitty.
Riley demands the Hawks run up the score. Bombay berates the team for not listening to him, but the players challenge his authority. For the next match, Bombay tries to teach his team how to dive and draw penalties, which results in another loss, angering the team further. This is when like Goldberg he dives before the guy even touches him, stuff like that.
Yeah, when he's being shot, when they're trying to make a goal, that's when he dives, and it's like nobody's even near you.
No.
What? And then Charlie also refuses to take a dive. He's like, nah, man.
Yeah, Charlie won't do it.
He's not going to cheat. Charlie's got values.
Then specifically one player, there we go, Charlie Conway, who refused to fake an injury. Bombay visits his mentor, Hans, who owns a nearby sporting goods store and was in attendance at the game against the Hawks. Bombay recalls that he quit playing hockey after losing his father 4 months before the championship game, and because Riley blamed him for the loss due to the missed penalty shot. Hans encourages him to rekindle his childhood passion for the sport by skating on a frozen pond like he did when he was a kid. Yeah, he told him to fly. Realizing the error of his ways, he apologized to Charlie and his mother at their home.
And he stays for dinner.
And
that's the beginning of the romance that has no romance to it.
No.
It was the most useless subplot ever. I was like, it never should have been in there.
No, I kind of get it because it's a couple subplots there, but yeah, it was kind of like he was just trying to bang Charlie's mom, and Charlie's mom was just looking like for a stepdaddy.
She was not just looking for a stepdaddy. Okay, she was not.
Yeah, she wanted to bang too. I get it.
Let's not besmirch Charlie's mom's name, whatever it might be.
A little piece of Emilio.
Name? It's Casey. We are not besmirching Casey's name. And everybody wanted a little piece of. Well, actually, no. In this movie, he's already started to, I think, get a little bit of work done. So I was like, Emilio, your face is not 1980s Emilio's face anymore. You were super cutie. But anyways, the love story is super superfluous. Like
he was only 29 when he shot this.
Shut up. No, he wasn't.
Yeah. Because I went back to look. I'm like, what happened to? Because I remember watching a thing about Emilio Estevez and him saying that he wasn't getting more role offered. Anything.
No, yeah.
Just nothing. But he was only 29 when he shot this friggin' movie.
If you watch Brat, the Andrew McCarthy doc about the Brat hack.
I gotta watch that.
Honestly, he's in it and he's super honest about like the trajectory that his career took and the choices that he made. That kind of also helped it along. in the direction that it went. It was so interesting. But anyways, that's besides the point. Thank you very much, Emilio Estevez, for your service in Hollywood. But yeah, so Gordon Bombay shows up at the Conway house, apologizes, and he decides he wants to make a go of this hockey team.
Yeah. So I'm just reading some of the comments. Yes, I agree. It was about Gordon get his confidence back. I think it's about him trying to prove himself to his dead dad. When you're a kid, no one cares. Yeah, we get it as adults, but when you're a kid watching this, you don't care about that.
Well, I think it's about finding the joy in what you love.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's very easy to follow. Yeah,
I think that's the overarching theme, and then each character has their own like lesson or moral that they learn through this. So I really think the movie is just like find what you love and keep doing it no matter what.
Yeah, and Slasher Fred is saying that the movie is a reference to the classic movie The Bad News Bears. Yeah, with the rebel kids and asked to join. Yeah, this movie is just. They took Bad News Bears and just kind of let's put them on skates.
There's a formula to it, a very simple formula, and there's nothing wrong with that because as long as you can make the formula entertaining, use it till it dies. Like I'm cool with that.
I do remember liking the Bad News Bears with Billy Bob Thornton because he was such a douche.
I'm pretty sure I saw it. I cannot confirm or deny it because I'm like, it sounds like it's living in my head somewhere. But is it also the hero's journey? Cheese toast? Yes, it is also the hero's journey because we'll get to the ending, but when we get to the ending, that's when you kind of see that Gordon Bombay really was the hero of this movie. It was not the kids. And I almost think they do a disservice to his story, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. Cheese toast.
Yeah. Because I have some thoughts on that too. I don't know why I did that. Okay. So Bombay's trying to bang Charlie's mom. Where are we? Bombay recalls that he quit playing hockey after losing his father 4 months before the championship game, and because Riley blamed him for the loss due to his missed penalty shot. I did this, didn't I? Yeah, Charlie and his mother at their home. Yes. Bombay convinces his boss, Gerald Ducksworth, to sponsor the team, allowing them to purchase proper equipment and give Bombay time to teach the players fundamentals. And yeah, when he's asked for the $15,000, this has to be the most expensive fucking sport for
hockey. Is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, ridiculously expensive.
And that is why for a very long time there is a certain demographic of people that were the majority in these sports. And that is why there is an initiative now to open up the sport and make it more available to people of all socioeconomic backgrounds.
Ugh.
Shut up, man. Because you know what? That's where we're getting some really great hockey players that are coming up. It's not just the rich white guys. All right. Get over it, Jimmy. Get over it.
I played goalie.
Oh my God. You played goalie?
I was not good.
Oh, see, the good goalies are always just a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And because they need that. You need that because you're putting yourself in front of like a racing puck. I don't know if I could do that.
Oh, it's not that bad when you have equipment on.
I believe you.
And I never really went anywhere with it. I played mostly for fun.
Ah, yes.
Partly because I sucked.
Partly or mostly.
Wasn't my entire choice. It had my skill level had something to do with it. Renamed the Ducks after Ducksworth. The team managed a tie in their next game. That I like because they didn't make them just great right off the hop. They tied. Yes. That was a big win. They recruit 3 new players: figure skating siblings Tommy and Tammy Duncan, and slapshot specialist and enforcer Fulton Reed.
Yes.
Bombay, seeing potential in Charlie's mom, seeing potential in Charlie, takes him under his wing and teaches him some of the tactics he used playing with the Hawks. And yes, of course, like any kid playing sports movie, you get them now he's actually teaching them something, and they're learning, like with the eggs, passing it.
Yes.
Accept it. Don't stop it. That type of thing. Glide. All that crap. Which was good because it's just, and again, every sports movie does that.
Yeah, they always start at the basics and they use the interesting ways of teaching it.
Yeah.
For the ones who aren't the naturally gifted ones. You're like, and this is what and there's always that, like, it was kind of funny. They were playing with eggs. It's always fun when someone gets egged.
Yep. Bombay learns that due to redistricting, the Hawks star player Adam Banks actually lives in District 5 and should be playing for the Ducks. And threatens Riley into transferring Banks to the Ducks. Yeah, so the star player over at the Hawks has to come over and play with the Ducks.
And everybody acts like it's the biggest travesty in the world. Like there's something like catastrophically wrong with this. And you're like, yeah, okay, it sucks. The kid just wants to play hockey.
Well, at the end of the day, it's like he ends up showing up there and he tells Bombay that he's like, I just want to play hockey.
Yeah, he just wants to play hockey.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he shows up to play with the Ducks. And then we find out that his dad and Coach Riley are connected.
Oh, to Bombay's boss.
Yeah, to Bombay's boss. And then there's more backroom dealings.
Yeah. Which is weird because this was the guy, the lawyer that told Bombay that you got to have teamwork. You got to do this. You need to, it's not all about this. It's not all about winning.
It's not about winning at all costs.
But, yeah. After overhearing an out of context quote about the team, most of the players walk out, except for Charlie and Fulton, who form a strong friendship, resulting in a forfeit to the Flames. The Ducks lose faith in Bombay and revert to their old habits, except Charlie and Fulton. Duckworth makes a deal with Riley for Hawks to keep Banks, which Bombay refuses on principles of fair play, which Duckworth berates him about when he started his community service. Left with the choice of letting his team down or being fired from his job, he takes the latter. Bullshit. I'd be like, fuck those kids.
See, and I would be like, fuck this job. Fuck this job. Mainly because I don't like the backroom. It wouldn't even be about like the hypocrisy of the situation. And I'd be like, no, I'm standing on my moral ground. I'd be like, no. Y'all went all behind my back to make this backroom deal. No, I refuse to take part and I'm just going to screw you all over because it's fun for me.
They'd be like, well, what about fair play? What about all this? And they'd be like, what about your job? Like, yeah, you can have. All right.
Fuck fair play. Yeah. What is this fair play?
Yeah, kids. Bombay manages to regain his players' trust after they win a crucial match against the Huskies in order to qualify for the playoffs. Banks decides to play with the Ducks rather than not play hockey at all. The Ducks march through the playoffs and face the Hawks in the championship game. Yeah, and they go to the Dallas. Yeah. It's gotten a little better, but back in the 80s and 90s, sports players couldn't act worth a shit.
No.
And Mike Modano and what was his name? What was the other guy's name?
I forget.
Whatever.
Oh wait,
the defenseman.
Basil McRae.
Was it Basil McRae?
I don't know. He's got a credit in this movie.
Yeah,
we're gonna go with that. Oh yeah. No, it was him. It was him.
Yeah, they can't act worth shit. But yeah.
Yeah, so they went to go watch the North Star.
It's weird that the one guy that comes out after they practice on the ice happened to be the guy that played with Bombay in Pee Wee hockey.
It's not that far-fetched.
And offers a 30-year-old man a tryouts in the minors.
Well, no, you got to remember one. Okay, the tryout in the minors, fucking weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Especially because this guy hasn't been on skates.
This point. Yeah.
He hasn't been on skates in like 20 years. You think he's still got it? That's adorable.
How many hockey players in their 40s do you know playing? Not a lot.
Not a lot, no.
I remember Chris Chelios was like 42, 43, and he was considered ancient.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, we have
a 40-something-year-old on the Leafs. I think Reeves is in his 40s.
Yeah, but going to start in the minor, it was a weird thing.
To go and start in the minors, no, that's super weird.
I wonder if they addressed it in number 2.
Oh God, no. Ryan Reeves is 37. My apologies, Reeves. My apologies. I thought you were 40.
Oh, Slasher Fred said there actually when I was on Disney Plus looking for the stupid movie, I saw D2 D3 the TV show and the animated show, which I totally forgot about the alien ducks. I don't
I'm
remember
pretty
a lot
sure I
about that.
watched the animated show, but I couldn't tell you what it was about.
No. I
And
know they
now I'm
had
curious.
skates and helmets and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Super weird that he got offered a spot, but recognizing someone like honestly, if you're super good, you would have played Pee-wee at some point. Like they tend to follow the progression. So if they're from the same area, you'd recognize the people who are in the hockey community because it is a pretty tight community.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody, and the drama.
Oh, hockey's ridiculous. Hockey parents are ridiculous.
Hockey parents and like the behind the scenes politics, so dramatic.
It's because every
so
parent thinks their
entertaining.
kids are going to the NHL,
Fuck yes,
and
they do.
only 0.08% of the kids actually make it to the NHL. For the rest of the 99.2
Yeah.
or 0.02, yeah, your kid sucks.
I mean,
and they think their kid's the next Gretzky, and they're not. They fucking blow. Get over it. Oh, I would love to go to hockey games and just berate parents of the other team, and the ones on my kids' team.
I know some hockey moms, God bless, and they tell me about all the drama that happens like at the rink, and I'm like, I want to go to these games and these practices because my God, it's like watching a telenovela.
Oh, we'd go to friends' games when we were in high school, in the 90s and stuff, and parents would be screaming at each other or just yelling at the ref.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can get intense.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fully entertaining for me because I've got no skin in the game. So I'm like, fantastic. Let's do this. I want to see you go crazy. Anyways.
Riley orders his team to injure Banks to force him out of the game. In spite of this, the Ducks manage to tie the game late in the final period, and Charlie is tripped by the Hawks player as the time expires. They spent a lot of time on this game, which was fine. Because the first period, I think it's 3-0, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was 3-0, and then they managed. Here's the thing about this movie. I thought there was more hockey than there actually was. There was a lot less hockey than I remember there being. There was enough of this game so you could really follow along and it felt like you were involved in the game. So it was like a really good highlights reel. It was good. I was kind of pissed that this fucking coach was all like, "Hey, hurt this child." So he's out of the game. Then he ends up unconscious, the poor kid.
Yeah.
He like was thrown into the net. And I'm like, that is not okay. That's some fucked up shit.
And then where we also get the spinning. No, I think that was another game, but it was in the playoffs. The spinning.
It was this one.
Figure skating.
She does a figure skating spin, which apparently distracts everybody.
Oh God!
And then they score.
The V.
She scores.
The flying V.
The flying V. I literally made a note. And I was like, the flying V is the most useless and ineffectual play, but I still love it. Like, I love it. It would never work in a real life hockey game. Never.
And I remember back then we were like, oh, are the Anaheim Mighty Ducks going to do the flying V? They did.
Really? Because I was more like Anaheim Mighty Duck. Why are they giving Anaheim mind you, I kept forgetting just how old the San Jose Sharks were.
Yeah.
I saw one of them wearing a sweatshirt, and I was like, in the movie, and I was like, oh my God, did they already exist in 1992? What the fuck? But yeah, I was like, but I have trouble accepting that warmer climates have hockey teams for some reason. Like it's a block, and I'm like, my logical brain knows that they have indoor rinks. But my weird Canadian brain is like, if it doesn't freeze outside, how do you play hockey?
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me, but I'm going to run with it. Anyways. So that's what They managed to tie the game.
Yes, and Charlie is tripped by a Hawks player as the time has expired. Now, and the ref actually comes over and says, anyone can take it. And I'm like, no, the guy who gets fucking tripped has to take it. But they wanted to do this whole...
Was it a tripping or was it a hooking? It looked like hooking to me.
Wikipedia said trip, but I think you're right. I think they were actually,
It was a hook.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
So everyone is saying everybody but Charlie. And then Bombay is like, I think Charlie should take it. And all the other kids are like, I wish the coach was fucking my mom so I could fucking take the penalty shot.
But you also got to remember, early in the movie, they call him Spazway.
Yeah, because he was a good player, but when he couldn't shoot worth a shit.
He was a good player to a certain point. Then all of a sudden he would just lose his ability. It literally went up into the ether.
Yeah, because in the early game, he's watching. He goes, "Oh, hey, this player's good," and he's deacon, and he's got him. And the kid's like, oh, "No way, that's Spaz."
Yeah,
he's gonna mess it up, and he did.
So this is where we get introduced to the flying V, the distractions of figure skating, and also the 1, 2, 3 deke.
Oh yeah, yep. But I mean, it is a kids movie.
It is a kids movie.
Yeah, it is a kids movie, so I'm not too mad at it.
I'm not either, but it's real. Like I feel kind of bad for the kids who watched this movie and then wanted to start hockey, and then they were like, "This is how you play."
Yeah, this isn't like the movie at all. This is really hard work.
Why are they making me skate back and forth at the rink?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna puke.
Where are the eggs?
I want to die. Yeah, where are the eggs? Charlie prepares for a game-deciding penalty shot. In stark contrast to Riley, Bombay tells Charlie to take his best shot and that he will believe in him no matter what. He's really trying to lay it on thick to bang this kid's mom. Inspired, Charlie fakes out the goalie with the triple deke. Bombay taught him and scores the winning the championship. And I thought, oh, okay, the movie's over. No, it's got like 10, 15 minutes left. This is where I'm getting angry now. Several days later, Bombay boards a bus to minor league tryout. And he's like, I'm going to be facing kids half my age. I'm like, you're fucking 30. What are you going to fucking Bantam or whatever we decided was the... you're not playing against 15-year-olds.
No, but he would be playing against...
He would be playing like 17 and 18
17, 18-year-olds. Could you imagine?
No, they would just skate around him and...
Oh my God, 100%.
Make them their bitch. Secured for him by, you're right, Basil McRae of the Minnesota North Stars, who played Pee Wee hockey with him as a youth. Although daunted at the prospect of going up against younger players, he received the same words of encouragement and advice from the Ducks he had given them, promising to return next season to defend their title. And then he kind of like gropes Charlie's mom. Everyone's going, ugh, the hell, and gets on the bus. And that is our movie.
Yes, it is.
Okay, what is your score?
Okay. For me, it's a conditional buy.
Ooh.
Here's the condition.
It's free. You found it on the sidewalk.
No. The conditional buy is if you have kids in your life, this is a great movie that both of you can enjoy. Is it sickeningly sweet? Yes. Does it tend towards younger ages? Yes. Are there still jokes that adults will laugh at? Yes. It's also a classic underdog story. You see this team of kids who have nothing and really, really suck at hockey. And they get better and they get the resources that they need. And they're not all of a sudden the greatest, but they catch enough lucky breaks that they manage with a little bit of training to do very well. And I think it has a great story. It has a great morale. It has several morales, but the overarching, you know what, if you keep working at it and you stick with something, you will get benefits from it, depending on what those benefits are. But it's not just winning is not the ultimate goal. It's enjoying yourself and getting better at something and sticking with something. And I think that's something that kids and a lot of adults too need to be reminded of. It was a fun watch. There was a lot of nostalgia. I think if you're, now don't get me wrong, I would buy it by myself. I have no kids, and my niece and my nephew are much older now. But I love this movie because I love a good underdog sports movie. So I would buy it. But I think for the general public, it's better if you have young people in your life. This is a fun, nice movie that the family can watch together. And there's very little in there that is super offensive or makes it uncomfortable to watch with like various ages. I think it's a good family fun movie. So I'm saying buy for the general public with a condition. Me, I would 100% buy it. What's your review?
Okay, I would not buy it. But I agree with you. And this movie is exactly why I have Disney Plus. Because there are so many movies on Disney Plus that I remember liking. I have a bunch of kids in this friggin' house, and I'm willing to pay whatever it is they're charging me to have access to all of these movies. And my 7-year-old did enjoy it. She laughed at the potty humor, the fart humor, all that stuff was funny to her. And she watched the whole thing. So yeah, I would say stream it. By myself, I'm not watching. I love Emilio Estevez. I'm not watching this movie. And yeah, but it's not a horrible movie. Oh, what did I do?
Oh, you froze.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you
are. It's not a horrible movie by any stretch of the means, but it is very, very 90s. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And not like Quentin Tarantino 90s. This is more on the TJIF 90s. You forget how wholesome the 90s wanted to be. But the music was cool. Not all of it. And we did get action movies and we did get horror movies, but yeah, the 90s were a different decade. And but yeah, no, I didn't hate watching it. A lot of nostalgia. But you're right. If you have kids, this is a great movie to watch. Yeah, especially if you don't want to explain anything weird. It's just a family-friendly movie. But this is exactly why I have Disney Plus. So I say stream it.
Yeah, now I want to watch the next 2 sequels.
I don't know if I want.
That's fine. You don't have to.
I'm interested in the new TV series with Emilio Estevez.
I will probably watch the sequels, then watch the TV series because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, because I think he's in season 1.
Yeah,
and he's gone.
And then he's gone.
Yeah,
and I'm like, again. Is it that they didn't want him, or he didn't want to come back? He was like, "That's enough, Mighty Ducks. Thank you."
Okay, so what did this movie do right?
Okay, I'm trying to think of how to say this. It did its level of innocence right.
Yeah, and if you're watching, by all means, comment in.
Comment in. Let us know what you think this movie did right. I think it kept it kind of at an 11, 12-year-old level for 1992.
Yeah.
Now, today's 11 and 12-year-olds, no. Today's 7 and 8-year-olds, maybe.
Yeah, it's so sad.
I know. It's just because, today's kids have a lot more information available to them. And they are consuming more media and more stuff. So, this is great for younger kids now.
Yeah.
But it is really one of those movies that I think... this really is one of those movies that I think kids and parents can all watch together. No, Cheese Toast stays forever. But this is one of those movies that the entire family can watch, and there's something for the adults, there's something for the kids, and I'm sure there's like a 40-year-old mom or 50-year-old mom out there who's sitting there looking and going like, Emilio Estevez, he looks real good in this movie. Remember Young Guns? And then they're going to start Googling. That's what I think they did well. I think they made a really great family movie.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you make a really great kids movie and you forget the parents. You forget the older kids, and also it's a really good underdog sports movie. Yeah. And Cheese Toast says this movie is flawless and did everything right, 12 out of 10. Thank you, Cheese Toast. I don't know if I'd give it a full 12, but it is definitely very high up there, and I still loved it.
I think they just took a very tried and true formula, and followed it to a T, and then added a bunch of sugar and candy and on top, and yeah. What did the movie do wrong?
I think the characterizations were a little too stark. Like when Bombay is bad, he is like an uber douche, but he didn't really have time. You don't see the change. You don't see the midpoint. He
It's
just kind of
almost
goes
instantaneously. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as he went skating,
It was uber douche. He went skating, one comment, and then he's like, "And I am a wholesome coach." And
Yeah.
you're like, that felt really quick. But you kind of forgive it because you're like, kids movie, like, but then you're like, who are we following? Like, this is supposed to be his story. And ultimately, the way they chose to end the movie, you realize that he is the hero of the story, and it is about his journey. And you're like, you kind of rip me off in the middle of his journey. Like, you see the change, but it kind of happens too quick. I think they did that. Also, the Coach Riley, too much of an archetype, like too much. I'm like, if he had just done "It's okay, son," I am sure next time you've got to do better, or something like that, where it's like kind of nice but kind of not. But he was just pure villain, and I was like, who the fuck follows a coach and says, "Yeah, good job," when he's like, "Go ahead, hurt that 11-year-old, hurt that 12-year-old." And all the kids are like, "High five." And Banks's dad is still wearing the Hawks jacket. And like, the fuck? The adults in this movie are not the greatest examples.
No.
I'll put that there.
And I think there are some movies, because while I didn't hate this movie, it's not my favorite movie. I think a lot of movies that came after this did a little. I Billy Bob Thornton, The Bad News Bears, I remember liking. I remember Kicking and Screaming with Robert Duvall and Will Ferrell. I remember liking that. But it's more of a natural progression of these mean, douchey, and they don't become overly great people by the end, but they have made some change. Where this was just, he threw on those skates and he was this wholesome do-gooder coach right after that. But it's a kids movie, so
yeah. I mean, 8-year-olds are not watching this and being like, I feel like there needs to be more character development. That's just my film school.
Yeah.
Let's write a movie review kind of vibe. That's me.
Yeah. So that was Mighty Ducks 1992. And what I want to steal, what I'll suggest to you is that, and then if we use it, you can take it and post it on your Facebook, is that I believe, I think if you want to watch next week's movie preview now.
Oh.
And then we won't put it actually on the podcast, but it is on this YouTube thing. Next week we are watching 2013's The Colony. It's not a well-known movie.
No.
I remember liking it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't remember that much of the movie. I remember liking it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
But I haven't seen it since 2013 or whenever I watched.
Same.
2014. Yeah. So
I probably would have seen it in 2015.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been on TV.
So
that's gonna be interesting.
Would that be all right doing it now? And then what I'll do is I'll cut like a 30-second thing and I'll post it on our Facebook page, and then you can just share it to your Facebook page.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. All right, let's share this. So that was a Mighty Ducks 1992. Next week, we are watching The Colony from 2013 with Lawrence Fishburne, who we just watched Assault on Precinct 13. And Bill Paxton, who I really miss. He made some really awesome movies.
He was so good.
All right, so
the world froze a long time ago. So long ago that I can't remember the warmth of the sun. The planet grew hotter as our fuel was burned. One day, it started to snow, and it never stopped. When the food ran out, most of the people in the world died. But not the people in this place.
A few hours ago, we received a distress signal from Colony 5. I think they're worth checking up on.
We need to take care of our own, Briggs. They just put the whole colony at risk.
That's really not your decision to make. We're sending a team, and I'm leading it. Welcome to Colony 5.
What happened here?
We're from Colony 7. Came to help.
Are they gone? Who? Is anyone else alive? Define their life.
My God. They slaughtered everybody for food.
It's the hunger. Just drove them mad. There's nothing human left.
And they're coming here. And it'll kill us.
You led them straight to us.
I do remember this.
Yes. Yeah. I don't remember, but yeah, I remember a little bit more than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trailer's good.
Trailer's great.
Post-apocalyptic. I love it in the snow. If you could do a movie in the snow, because it's so much harder but it's so much bleaker.
Yes, 100%. I think that's why 30 Days of Night has such a almost desperate vibe to it.
The Thing, the Thing, anything in the snow, it just seems more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it.
I think I'm really gonna like it.
Yeah.
I remember really liking it, and now that I've seen, it was when I saw Kevin Zegers, I was like, "Oh right, he's in this too," and I was then a lot of the movie came flashing back to me, and I was like, "Right, I remember this." So that's fantastic. I'm glad I've seen this before. I always get so worried when I'm like, I remember watching it, but I don't remember that much of the movie. Anywho.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us and going back to 1992 to review The Mighty Ducks. Tell us what you think of the movie below, and join us next week where we're going to watch a review, The Colony from 2013. All right. Is there anything else? No,
I don't think so.
We had a buy it, a stream it.
Yes.
But it wasn't a horrible stream it. It was.
No, it was just you probably won't want to spend money on this. And that's okay.
Anna wants to spend money. It's her
I
money.
do want to spend money on this.
She can do what she wants with it.
That's right. That's right. I can.
Look at the shit movies I have behind me.
Thank you, Cheese Toast. Thank you for joining us. And same thing to Slasher Fred and to Stefan Robert. We appreciate you, or Robert. Anybody want to tell me if you're French? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for contributing in the comments. We appreciate it. And it was a good time.
Yeah. And until the next movie we remember liking.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,